All right. So the first question.
Okay, for the first question, mine is okay. So my two IP the attacker's IP address I got were 88.195.5.10 and the 100.17.5.10 too.
Okay. And the server's IP address is what?
Server's IP address was 10.0.0.5.
All right. I want to get everybody's answer before I start making my own analysis. So the next question is, what 3 ports did the attacker try to connect to that were blocked?
The 3 ports are port 22, port 3389, and port 445.
Please, can you repeat?
Yes, I'm repeating it. The 3
Okay.
ports that the attacker tried to connect to that were blocked are port 22, 3389, and port 445.
All right. Thank you. Next question is, what is one port that was open? Another person, Manuel, go ahead.
Okay, so one port was 80, which is the HTTP port.
All right. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I got that. Thank you.
Okay.
So next question. The attacker start scanning the web server. What 3 file names did they look for that did not exist? Afolabi.
The index.html, the config.php, and the backup.zip.
You said index.html.
Yes. Config.php and backup.zip.
Okay, we don't have config.php, we have config.txt. But like I said, I'm not going to analyze now until we're done. Next question, what file name did they find that did exist? Aina, I've been seeing that your hand has been going up and off. You can take this question.
Yeah, good evening. Yes,
Good evening.
I'm actually having a bad network here. Sorry about that. Please, what was the question again?
What file name did they find that did exist?
Sorry, I have a submission, but let the lady answer first.
Okay. I don't know, is she still there?
She says she can't hear you clearly.
No,
sorry, I jumped with another. Continue.
Okay, okay, it's clear. Yeah, so please, you can answer.
Yeah, sorry, I'm having network, so I have to change my, what's it called? So what question were you asking again? Sorry.
What file name did the attacker find that did exist?
Should take the question. Sorry, please.
John and Ima, I'm not going to call you guys. You've already answered one.
No,
So
me, I only most of the question the other person asked. The other person
you
answered.
said
That's why. I wanted to make a
you want
submission.
to
I wanted to make a
no
submission for what the other said.
no
That
no no no
was
no
why.
don't worry. Like I said, before we start discussing everybody's answer until we've gone through all the question, then we'll start going back. If there's any correction, if there's any call to action that is required, we then do that. Okay, so Liat is having a bit of a network problem. The next person I have is Ebere. Please, you can answer the question. Ebere, are you there? I guess not. Aisha,
Yeah, good evening.
good evening.
Yeah, you said what file did they access, right?
No, what file name did they find that
Okay,
exists?
okay. Secret.php and upload.php.
All right. Thank you. Next question. What user agent is the attacker using? Does this look like a normal web browser? Sochima, I know your hand was up earlier. Okay, maybe Sochima is not around.
Okay. Sorry. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Henry. Go
Hello?
ahead.
Okay. The attacker is using core 67. That core slash 7.68.
Okay. And
Yeah.
does this look like a normal web browser?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
All right. Thank you. Next, the bridge at social time, the attacker makes a post request. What do you think they were doing? Ebere, your hand is up again. I hope you can answer this time around. Go ahead.
Okay, the attacker made a post request. The attacker was trying to make a the attacker was trying to upload a malicious file at 4:30:09.
All right. Thank you. Then at 14:30, 10 seconds, the smoking gun appears. What is the full URI of this request? Do I have anyone aside from those that have answered that want to give this a try? Henry, you've
Yes.
already
Can I answer that?
Yes, you can.
Okay. The full URL is /upload/shell.php ? Who am I?
All right. Next question. What specific command did the attacker run on the server? Anyone aside from John, Emmanuel, Suliat, Aisha, Henry, Ibere? Any other person that wants to give this a try?
Yes.
Okay, Fatima,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. The attacker ran the command who am I, requesting for an IP address and identity of the current user.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, don't worry, you're off now. The next question, what major attack tactic does this stream of 404 error represent? Something.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening. Yes, we can.
Okay, means the page doesn't exist.
Okay, yeah, we know the page does not exist, but what military attack tactic can you map those stream of 442?
I didn't hear you. I didn't get that. Sorry, my network is pretty. Please say it again.
This can you see my screen?
Ye- Yes, but faintly. My network is pretty bad. Like I'm struggling to.
So we're asking, we already know that yes, the stream of 404 errors means the page does not exist. But now, what meter attack tactic can you map those stream of 404 to?
Is it 4042 or 404?
404, 404.
Okay. I think the attacker is trying to scan directories and also guess the name of the directory.
Okay. We have no answer, but no problem. Yeah, please kindly mute.
Okay.
Okay, next question. The meter attack technique for the shell. Anyone? Who do I have here that have not spoken? Let me see. Sunday, can you take that question?
Okay, can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, the mutual attack technique for the shell, PHP for the shell, is actually, from my understanding, is the use of web shell for remote command execution, because it's running a command "who am I," which normally is trying to assess what whether or what user it is. Normally, if you want "who am I," it gives you the user in which you are logged in, whether as a root or as a super user, or as a regular user.
All right. Thank you. Next question. Is this a true positive or a false positive? Still looking for someone who has not spoken. I can see Thompson and Aisha hands are up, but then you guys have spoken. So I have Adeleke, I have Adeyinka, I have Afolabi, I have Ayush, I have Davina. Any one of you guys can take the next question, please. Adeleke, Adeyinka, Afolabi, Ayush. Well,
I already did answer a question, but can
okay,
I still answer?
Okay, no.
Yes.
I want someone who has not answered.
Oh.
Don't worry. So I'm going to Ayush, are you here? Davina, are you here? You have to party my. All right. Thank you. Ayush has answered that in the chat. So the next question is, what is your immediate next step for the web server? Who is going to take that among those who have not spoken? Umar. I can see the two Oluwatosin Adeoye, Queen Oluwatosin. Any of you guys can take that?
Okay, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
I will for the server, I will quickly isolate the server from the network so that it won't cause further damage or extend to any other system. So that is what my action will be.
All right, thank you. Final question. What is your immediate next step for the attacker's IP? Is the other Oluwatosin present? Davina, I don't know which of the Fatima has spoken. Well, I can see to Fatima here. And I have Gift, I have Zuma. All right, thank you for that, Adeinka. All right, so we've run through the questions. Now we can now go back. We start taking them one by one, and we start pointing out some mistake that you guys made while answering this question. So the first question is, what is the attacker's IP address and what is the server's IP? If I remember correctly, I think that was John that answered the question for us. And he pointed to 88.198.5.10 and 100.17.5.10 as the attacker's IP and 10.0.0.5 as the server's IP. Do we all agree with that? Or do we have anyone who has any opposing idea about that answer? Anyone? If you have any opposing answer, please, you can speak up.
I think the attacker's IP address is just 88.198.5.10. Only
right.
that IP.
Do you have a specific reason for that?
Yes, because that's the only IP having interactions with the with 10.0.0.5.
All right. So if it was John or whoever it was that answered that question, I believe you heard what Eunice said, and that is correct. Don't hijack our class.
Sir, I was raising my hand though.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm particularly in support of what the last speaker, the question she answered. It's just one IP address, not two, with respect to the attacker's IP.
Okay. Yeah, so I was just about to comment on that too. So, like I said, please. Okay, so I said it that I laid a certain trap, and the trap was that I purposely included this 100.17.5.10. Initially, when I first collected the log and all, this was not there. This 100 something was not included. But then I was okay, let me just see if I can play a little trick. And I included that. And like I said, many fell for it. You should always remember that by giving you a scenario, they've kind of given you a point of view, something to look at, something to focus your analysis on. In the scenario that we're given, we've been given the server IP address as 10.0.0.5. So any traffic that you see in this log that is not directed to 10.0.0.5 or that is not originating from 10.0.0.5, you should see those kind of traffic as just unnecessary noise at that moment. Because what you are concerned about, what you actually want to work on is any traffic, any communication that is directed to or that originates from 10.0.0.5. And as we can see from this log, 100.17.5.10 only communicated with 17.1.0.5, which we are not given anything about. We do not know what that IP address is. And if we were to go with what we have here as our server, 10.0.0.5, then we can see that 17.1.0.5, even if it's a server, it doesn't seem to be a server within the network range of 10.0.0. It is outside of that range. Do you understand? So selecting 188 as the attacker's IP is wrong. The only attacker's IP address we have here is 88.198.5.10, and our server is 10.0.0.5. I hope we've cleared that one now.
But sir, there was a payload on that 100.17 point this thing at that in 230.9 by 9 239.
See, I understand. What I'm trying to tell you is, no matter the payload that you're seeing, you are looking at the web server. But the first log you're supposed to look at to start your analysis is the firewall log. Web server log points to some specific service that they were trying to find, or they were trying to exploit your network. Before they can get to your web server, they will have passed through your firewall. So your firewall will have done the work of either to deny or allow. So the point here is that you know your company's server is 10.0.0.5. You were never told that you have another server as 17.1.0.5. So any communication that you're seeing that is outside of 10.0.0.5, they are just what? They are noise to you. Again, if you select 100.17.5.10 as an attacker's IP, now the question is, where is the evidence that they actually communicated with our server's IP address? I'm going to point you back to the scenario. You can see it here in the scenario. The server IP address you were given is specifically 10.0.0.5. Even if 17.1.0.5 is going to be another server in your network, particularly, we are not interested in it for this analysis. We are only interested in the 10.0.0.5. And the only IP address that communicated with that is the 88.198.5.10. So whatever you're seeing in the web server log, right, that all these, it uploaded a web share, it uploaded a malicious file, they are just noise. Like I said, I purposely put them there. Your focus should be on the IP address that communicated with your server's IP address. Aisha, your hand is up.
When I went through those logs and then concerning that using the last what did they call it? Using the last task we did, using that C2 server, you know, sometimes some attackers use two different IP address to like go to like attack the website to see which one goes through. That's why.
Again, I'm still going to refer you to something. Now, for example, right, let's say we at HSC, we have a server. We have a server running, and our server is running on 10.0.0.5. If I'm to review any log for that server, that means I'm going to be focused on anything that comes into 10.0.0.5. If we have, for example, now this is, let's say that 10.0.0.5 is an HTTP server. Then we have another server, let's say maybe an FTP server that is running on 10.0.0.6. But at the moment, I'm concerned about communication to the HTTP server. Which of the IP address will I focus on? John.
You focus on the HTTP server.
Which IP address?
The 10.0.5.
Good. Now, if I am analyzing our log, remember, for example, if I'm using SIM, you know, SIM is going to collect from different server, different sources. So I might come across 10.0.0.6, but I know that is just the IP address of our FTP server. And at that moment, I'm not concerned about it. I am concerned about log that are for the HTTP server, which I know is hosted on .5. So if I come across 100 of .6 log, 100 of .6 alert, at that moment, I will not go there. I will not check. What I'm focused on is the .5. So again, that 17.10 at the firewall log, it does not belong to us in this scenario because we were not given any information about it. And the only IP address that communicated with that 17 is the 100.17, which again, remember that 17 is not our web server. The only IP address that interacted with our web server is the 198.5.10. And that is going to be our focus at this moment. Maybe when we are done with that, we can now come back and see if we have another server or if we have any other asset that is running on that 17 dot whatever. But this moment that we are analyzing, we are only focused on communication to 10.0.0.5. That's it. Sunday, I can see your hand is up. You want to chip in?
Just a little bit, sir.
Okay.
I just wanted to say, actually, you have majorly said the whole thing. We were specifically looking at the 10.0. Now, at the same time, I know that there was a post request from the 100, but if you are to correlate from the firewall, now even if we want to look at it from, let's say maybe an attacker, if you are to correlate it from the firewall down to the web server, it still doesn't necessarily say that it's an attacker. Because, okay, there was a post request of secrets.php. Who knows? It could be production happening in somewhere, maybe in another server or something somewhere. We are not seeing any indications. Unlike when we had, unlike the 88.
Yes,
For,
that's
for yeah, unlike the 88 which we had, who am I? For the 100, it's just an IP config, which is more like knowing the IP, just knowing the IP address of the systems that is there. It could generally be even remote access. So, like generally, maybe a worker from home trying to access the server remotely. So we do not. There is no clear indication as to whether it's an attacker or not for that 100.
okay. Thank you, thank you. So, like you said, that's just the thing. You have to, whatever you do, you have to correlate. You're looking at the web server, you have to go back to the firewall as well. You have two IP address. You need to figure out which of these IP address at the firewall level actually interacted with our server IP address. Eunice.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe that other IP, this 17 dot IP. So I'm trying to get it. Maybe it's the DNS server. I was just thinking.
You said
Whether
you're thinking that maybe
is it,
it's the DNS server.
yes. Is it right to think that, to assume that that 17.1.0.5 can be the DNS server
Okay. Again,
because of the port 53?
again, it could be, right? It could be. But I want you guys to understand one thing, just like I said from the beginning. The actual log that was collected only had that 88 dot whatever and the 10.0.0.5. I personally modified the log to include the other two IP address that you're seeing here. I understand as an analyst, you guys are correct to be trying to make sense of it because after all, that's what we do. We try to make sense of everything. But for me, who actually made those modifications, they do not mean anything to me. Right? They do not mean anything. I was not even thinking of DNS server, DHCP server. All I was thinking about is I want to what? I want to try and convince these people. I want to throw these people out of their thoughts. If it was just straightforward like that, like it would make the whole thing very simple. The whole thing would be very simple. So for me to have thrown that in now, that's why we're having this discussion that we're having now. If not, it will just be yes, that's it, and then we'll be done with the class, right? But again, look at the scenario you were given. You were given the scenario, you were given the objective. So that should point you to what you're supposed to look at. Thompson, your hand is up.
All right. Yes. Thank you for the response. But I want us to look at it in another dimension. That is just a question. Let's assume this was a real life, and you were not the one that gave us this assignment, but we saw that particular IP while we are investigating. Are we not supposed to even look into it in order to have a thorough investigation?
Okay. Let me quickly answer that. All right. So whatever
So,
analysis one, who is
sir,
that? Yes.
me, Sir John. Yeah, I was
Okay.
thinking from his own explanation, that particular IP address will come up as a C2 server if you have to use his own analysis that he came up with.
Okay. Wait. You guys should calm down. You guys should calm down and wait for something. Now, when you are in your environment, as a SOC analyst, you guys will agree with me that you'll be familiar with all the IP address where your server resources or assets are being hosted, right? You agree with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in your environment, in your organization, you guys make use of the network range of 10.0.0. That is where your server, your service, everything are being hosted. So if you are running a DNS server, it's probably going to be on 10.0.0.3. If you are running a DHCP server, it's probably going to be on 10.0.0.2. Any of this thing you are running is going to be on what? 10.0.0.this. You know that this is the network range for all your resources. Now, do you think it is now possible for you to now open your, who is this? Please just, do you think it is now possible that you now open your SIM or your firewall and they will now collect log from, let's say, 15.0.0. something? Do you think it is possible? Anyone, do you think that is possible?
No, no, no.
Exactly. It is not possible because when you are setting up your security software, your SIM, your EDR, your firewall, all of these are going to be pointing to your organization's internal network. They will not point you, for example, now let's say you are working in First Bank and your internal organization, your servers, everything, they are on 10.0.0. this thing. And then let's say Zenith Bank have theirs on 15.0. something. Do you expect that your security software will now come up with logs that are for 15.0. this thing? Is it possible? So you want to tell me your security this thing does not have enough to do in your own environment? They will now decide that Jim. They will now go to Zenith Bank to go and bring Zenith Bank on. You know, that is practically not possible. It's not possible. So whatever log you are expected to see in your environment has to be logged for your environment. The only IP addresses that you will be seeing that will not be from your environment are now going to be either maybe someone from your environment try to reach out to a server that is being hosted in the internet, or in this scenario, an IP address belonging to an attacker. Do you understand? Those are what you are likely going to see. But in the situation that you will now see an IP address, the source IP address does not belong to anybody or any IP address in your environment. And they are interacting with another IP address that does not belong to anything in your environment. It is not possible. Now, in the case of whether this could be a C2 server, for this to be a C2 server, either that 100.17 or that 17.0.0.5 would have established a communication with any IP address in your environment. It is not possible for a C2 server to just jump into your environment without prior communication. Either that C2 server itself would have communicated with an IP address in your environment, or the attacker's IP address would have gained foothold. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Have any of you guys been experiencing glitches with MTN network since yesterday? I called them yesterday, complained to them, said they were going to fix it, and then now they've not. So I hope you guys got the explanation before my net.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I wanted to also add that there is actually even a loophole there, because we can see that by Sorry, I cannot remember the time correctly. But by, you see, we saw that at first it sent a post, more like it was uploading something to secret.php. And then all of a sudden, now it's now it's now doing a get, because it's having a get request from upload slash shell slash shell and so on and so. But now if we now go back to the firewall now, we did not, or we are not seeing any interaction at that particular time again. So even that service is actually a loophole of its own.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope we can settle this now. All right. The next question. So what report did the attacker try to connect to that were blocked? Yes, we've seen that. The person who answered that question was correct. You said? Okay, yeah, because I got kicked out.
Your screen.
Yeah, let me do that again because I got kicked out. Is it up now?
Yes.
Okay. So that question is straightforward, it's just out there. Then what is one port that was open? This is also just out there. Now, this question, the attacker starts scanning the web server. What 3 file names did they look for that did not exist? This one too, we're going to have a talk about it because I remember the person who answered it mentioned index.html as one of the files that did not exist. And we all know that that is wrong because index.html is actually has a 200 status code, meaning it does exist. The ones that do not exist are the stream of 404, which are admin.php, config.txt, backup.zip. Now, while I was marking, I saw some people actually included secret.php. Again, this is just for 100.17.5.10, which has nothing to do with our analysis. It is just noise. So whatever you are analyzing here, whatever answer you want to give has nothing to do with 100.17. Your focus is 88.198.5.10 because it is the one that interacted with our server. So what file name did they find that did exist? Yes, the person that answered that one too actually got it. They got it as upload.php. Then what user agent is the attacker using? Yes, that one too was straightforward. The next question, the attacker makes a post request. What do you think they were doing? That one too was straightforward. They were trying to what? Upload a malicious file. The upload what was it called? The PHP, the shell.php was what they tried to upload and everything. Then the smoking gun, what is the full right? The person that answered this also, Eunice.
Okay. Please, can you expatiate more on that number to the file they found that exists? Because according to the question, 2 files were found to exist: index.html, upload.php. So why is it that it's only upload.php? That is the answer.
No, I said it when I was making the correction for this. The attacker starts scanning the web server for this. when I said the person that answered that question actually mentioned index.html as one of the files that does not exist, but it actually exists because it is what status code 200. So yes, it is a part of the file that exists. Even if it is not the file that was actually later used to, to exploit the server, to make the upload, to make the web share connection. It doesn't matter. The fact that it is a 200 status code, that means that file exists. Whether it is useful or not, we'll focus on the status code. So yes, it is part of the file that does exist.
Okay.
Yeah. So the full URI, we're also giving the full URI, and the person too was correct. Although when I was grading, I saw some people actually included the ifconfig URI as part of the full URI. And also when they were talking about the specific command that the attacker run on the server, they also mentioned ifconfig, which I'm glad to tell you is wrong, because again, that is just something from the 100.17. And again, from this question, they said, what specific command did the attacker run on the server? And if you go back to our firewall, there was nowhere where that 100.17.5.10 actually interacted with our server 10.0.0.5. So we are not interested in it. We are only interested in the UMI, which was run by 88.198. Then the vector attack tactic does the stream of 404 errors represent. Now, here, when I was grading, majority actually had reconnaissance. That's T400 and T4058, right? If I'm not mistaken. You actually had reconnaissance as the tactic. Now, there were some comments I dropped for some people that I asked them that, okay, why can't they just drill further down? Now, I'm going to make a scenario now that let's say there's an incident and you as an outsider, you've been assigned to find the culprit. They want you to find the culprit to the last point. Now, you ran your analysis. You now went back to the person that gave you the job and you said, oh, from my analysis, it is an HSC student that committed this attack. We all know that the next question they will ask you is, which of the HSC students? That is going to be the question. Which of the HSC students? Because they expect you to come up with a report or an analysis that will point directly to the culprit. Not one that will still make them to start thinking, okay, so who is this, who is that, who is this, who is that? No, they want a direct link to the culprit. But if you come back and you tell them it is HSC students, then they have to start wondering, are we talking about John, Manuel, Sunday, Aisha? Like, we have so many students. So who is the culprit? Which is why I did not agree with most of you that had just reconnaissance as the tactic. I saw some people that mentioned reconnaissance, but then they went further to talk about the directory discovery, which is simply great. That is it C1003.003? I've actually forgotten the, okay, no, that's for web share. That's for web share. I've actually forgotten the one for directory discovery, right? So as much as it's reconnaissance that they are trying to gather information, the main one the main one that they were doing here is directory enumeration. They were trying different directory, different files in the server. We all know that all these directory, all these folder that we are talking about, they are just like pointer. They are just like a web page in a particular server or in a particular website. So this person is just looking, is enumerating those directly. So it is better to drill down, map it directly to which one it is, instead of just saying reconnaissance. John, your hand is up.
Yeah, for my own, I didn't use only reconnaissance. I used reconnaissance and vulnerability scanning.
Yes, I was going to come to that. We are not the only one that actually put that vulnerability scanning. Again, this is it. The person has gotten into our network. He has gotten into our environment already. Now he's looking for a foothold, looking for something to stand on firmly. Whether he was doing reconnaissance or he was looking for a particular vulnerability to exploit, the fact still remains that what he was doing is directory or file enumeration, directory discovery. Right? So again, you have reconnaissance, you have vulnerability scanning. Vulnerability scanning can be anything. When you tell me somebody is doing reconnaissance, you are not telling me the particular reconnaissance they are doing. When you say someone is doing vulnerability scanning, you are not telling me exactly what they are doing. Is it that they are looking for a port? Are they looking for an open port? They could be looking for several things when you say reconnaissance or you say vulnerability scanning. But when you say reconnaissance and then you join it with directory discovery, now I know that whatever I'm doing is something that is in line to directory discovery. So they are focusing on trying to see which directory exists in our server that they can exploit, or which particular file exists in our server that they can that they can exploit. So you should always try to drill down to the last point as much as you can. All right, Thompson.
Okay. I think I was the one that tried answering this particular question. So I was waiting for you to probably analyze if I was right or wrong. You get. So, but what I said was that the attacker was trying to scan our directories, and also attacker guessing the name of these directories. Can you speak on that? Does it align with when you use the word enumeration?
Yes, it
Can
does.
you?
It's still the same thing. When you enumerate, you're actually scanning. You're just trying to look for information. You are probing. You are probing the server. That I want you to tell me what do you have inside. What do you have inside? And when you scan it, you're actually still probing the server to tell you what it has inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sunday.
Okay, I wanted to say or ask rather. So because I used reconnaissance, but I then added that the attacker was trying to probe for common web files, e.g. admin.php. So is that still, or it has to be specifically directory enumeration?
Okay, so here is why yours is wrong and correct at the same time. Now you said reconnaissance, right? Reconnaissance, we know, is part of the military attack tactic. But I was just saying it is too ambiguous. Now you included, like you made an explanation.
Yes, that the attacker was trying to probe for common web files.
Okay, but is that that the analysis you gave, the terminologies and everything you used, are they part of the meter attack tactic? They are not.
It's just the explanation of the reconnaissance from my own end.
Exactly. That's why I say yours is correct and at the same time incorrect. You gave the tactic, then you try to explain the exact part of the reconnaissance. But if you had just included reconnaissance, the tactic for reconnaissance, and then you included that directory discovery, the T, I've forgotten whether it's T0053 or something. If you had just included it, for someone who is familiar with meter attack, that other explanation is not required. That's for if you are submitting to a technical person. That explanation is not required because when I see that, I already understand the point. But when you explain the reconnaissance, you explain the reason for the reconnaissance. Yes, if a non-technical person read that, they are likely to have like a more understanding of what everything was about, but then it still does not answer the question itself because the explanation does not have any this thing in the meter attack. That's just the incorrect part of what you did. Eunice.
Okay, I just want to get something right here. On meter attack websites, there are techniques and there are tactics. So according to the question, the first question asked for a tactic that streams of 404 errors represent. So I was trying to be careful not to mention a technique instead of a tactic. So now that you are explaining everything, directory discovery is actually a technique. So will I not be wrong to mention that as the answer for for a question requesting for a tactic? Is it okay to use tactic and then technique interchangeably?
Thank you for asking that question. Because after the whole explanation, I was planning to come to it. Now, if you look at the meter attack navigator, I promise you that you're going to see TA whatever for the directory distance. You are going to see it in the tactics and you're going to see in the technique. Has anybody actually gone through and took their time to look at the navigator? Anyone?
Actually, so it's on under technique. I didn't see directory discovery under tactic.
If you check where you will see, and it's not only this one that you will see under tactic, and you can likely come and see other technique as well. That's just like the beauty of that navigator. There are times that tactics can can become the technique as well. You just have to understand when you are using it, like the nature of the situation when you are using it. And I guess that is the reason why most people add reconnaissance, because maybe they were saying directory discovery as technique, and they did not know that it could also be tactics. I'm not sure. Does anyone remember the CA for that thing? Maybe we can just check so that we can just clarify that now. Has anyone made the search?
You mean on meter attack?
You can use AI to ask if what is it called, can be both tactics and technique. Is my line breaking? Someone said my line is breaking.
No, it's not.
I guess that person's network there.
What did you say we should do actually? I didn't get it. What did you say we should
Okay,
do?
you know, we're discussing about file and directory discovery being a tactic and a technique at the same time. So I wanted you guys to just make a search, maybe on AI, or if you have access to the navigator now, you can just check to see if it is possible for it to be represented as both a tactic and a technique. So that
Oh, okay.
so that we know if I'm wrong. Let me go and give all those people back their mark. Okay, why we make that search? The technique. I don't think we have for the technique for the shell. I don't think we have any problem with that. Us majority got it right, and I think the person that answered that also mentioned web shell 003. So yeah. And then the recommendations, we know that yes, this is true positive or false positive. And your immediate next step for the web server, the person got it wrong, right, sorry. And what is your immediate next step for the attacker's IP as well? The person got that right as well. So we don't need to spend on those ones. Something you are back.
Yes, I actually asked. He said file scan is generally considered a technique. In cybersecurity, techniques are specific methods used to achieve a particular goal, whereas tactics are higher level approaches or strategy. File scan is a common technique used by malware or security to examine file for specific patterns, malware, signature, or sensitive data.
So that means file and directory discovery are going to be a technique under discovery. If that should be the case. Do you get that?
No, explain that. I didn't.
No, I'm just asking that. If you said file scanning is technique, so I'm saying the file and directory discovery that we've been talking about now, if it is a technique, then it's going to be a technique under the discovery tactic. Because I know that there's something about discovering in the tactic of their attack. So I might just be wrong to have said it is file and directory. So maybe it's just discovery. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm trying to check the navigator. Thank God she has raised her hand.
So that's directory discovery is actually under discovery. I saw it under discovery. Discovery tactic.
Okay. So that, I guess that was where I made the mistake. Because like I said, I know that there's something discovery in the tactic. So I just made it to go and be file and directory discovery. But then if we are to put it like that, is it not better to have used discovery as the tactic instead of reconnaissance? What do you think for this question?
I just feel that maybe that attackers can come under more than one tactics or technique. It can represent reconnaissance. It can also come under discovery.
Yes, like I said
that's my conclusion.
Yeah, I said it now that reconnaissance, I'm not saying is not correct, it's correct, but like it should have been better to just focus on a specific tactic that can directly explain what the attacker was doing. We all know that the attacker was doing recon, trying to see what they can find. But then the better part of it is that what they're doing is they're trying to discover a particular, they are trying to discover some particular path, directory or file paths. And when we know that when we have that, then we're talking about the discovery as the tactic, and then file and directory discovery as the technique. So maybe for me personally, if I was to be the one to do this, if I'm going to include reconnaissance as a tactic, then I might as well include discovery as a tactic. So, well, for I know the ones that I do not actually give full mark, I probably give them 9/10. So the 1 mark for now, you guys have dashed it to me. Thank you guys for dashing that to me. I can't go back and start grading you guys for that. But like I said, it's not as if you guys are wrong or something. That was not the reason. And then I don't know. I think I said it in the last, when we did the last task, that I'll be expecting that when you're submitting all these assignments, you should at least be putting in a little bit of effort to the report you're submitting, instead of just submitting a one-page report that just answered the question straightforward. So for some people that I removed mark, it was because of that. Stop submitting just a page report. If you want to actually post that as you should be doing, you cannot just be posting something like that now. You should have something little standard. Even if you cannot go as far as including all the normal structure of the report, but you should still go as far as, like, just do something more than just one page and just going straight to answer and to answering the question, please. That's that. Then before we close for the day, I believe everybody have a group. Something I'm coming, I will call on you. So I think Aruki has done justice to groups, and I believe all of you guys now have a group. So like I suggested in the last class, do we have at least one person from each group that now has Splunk installed? Don't worry, you might not answer the question here. So what I just want you guys to do, I believe everybody, even though this is not everybody that is supposed to be in the class today, but I believe each group should have a representative here in today's class. So what I want from you is, I want each group to go back to their group. I know you guys have opened a WhatsApp group for that. Please go back to your group, have a discussion. Try to know if you have anyone that has Splunk already installed in their environment. Then please come back to the general group and let me know, tag me. Group 1, we have someone with Splunk installed that we can make use of. Group 2, we have them, and so on and so forth. Just ensure you tag me so that I'll be able to note the group that has that, so that we can start making use of Splunk as our SIM tool to actually carry out analysis, standard analysis, instead of these ones that we've been doing, right? Please, Thompson, yes?
Okay, I just want to quickly go back to what you just said before you talked about Splunk. Are you saying for assignment we should be putting in more details?
Yes. Like just try to see it as getting those reports to somebody that does not know anything. Exactly, I do not know anything. So just please help me. Try to explain those things for me.
Okay, so with respect to the next assignment about Splunk, I know it's going to be a group. When are you giving us? And then secondly, since it's a group and probably one person's system that has Splunk will be used, we'll do it as a group and then submit the report. But I really want to know, when will you give us the assignment? What's the duration like you get? Because the bottom line is for us to learn, not just to just answer the question. And we are going
So
to be submitting as a group as well.
yes, you'll be submitting as a group. Please mute before I continue. Before I call you to Okay, yeah, so you'll be submitting as a group, definitely. And what's it called? When am I going to give that? That's why I said you guys should go back to your group, have a discussion to know who has Splunk. Once I know that every group now has Splunk, then we start the log analysis task like that. But if you guys still do not have Splunk, I cannot give you log to analyze when you do not have what you're going to use to analyze it. So it's not possible. Okay, I see something in the chat. Someone is saying their report will enter Vanguard. Vanguard or punch me. Yeah,
No, good evening. I don't see anything. It's just a mistake. But I want to say something regarding to the Splunk and group things. I believe that the Splunk issue has come up since previous week. So I believe by now everyone should install Splunk individually and either group and all that. So it shouldn't be a thing that we should have to postpone and wait for the group to install it. And to me, it should be a mandate that everyone should have Splunk. It's a task, it's an assignment last time. So that's why I feel that everyone should have Splunk by now.
Yeah, so that's true. So if we wait for people to respond, it might take time. We might go another 1 week without.
Okay, thank you, Victor. Thank you, Thompson. And I see that Ebere actually agrees with that too. Yes, this idea has been on for a while. I've mentioned it, I've asked, but then do not worry. I still want you guys to do what I said. Then from when I see the response that I get, then I'll know how to move from there. Yeah, don't worry about that. I understand that. Don't worry. We'll not waste time, because even I myself, I do not want us to waste that time again. It's already going too much. Do we have anyone else that wants to say anything? We don't know if they're okay. She already said she was not going to be able to say something.
They should be serious. They should be serious.
They will be serious now. It's a task now. So they will be serious now.
It's a task, and everybody has to learn, because if you feel because it's a group and then you will not be serious, or you're not going to make any valid inputs to the task, at the end of the day, you're going to lack when it comes to you doing this thing yourself. Plus, you're going to be missing a great opportunity to learn from different people. Well, that's the beauty of working with a group. Everybody might have different ideas, and when you put those ideas together, you find out that yes, this is a real good back. So please, everybody has to be serious. You have to treat the group task as you would have treated the individual task. So take it serious. This is a chance to learn. If you do not know how to use all those things before, or you do not know how to carry out this analysis, this is a chance for you to learn. Ask questions from those who you know that already knows all these things. Ask, let them, and I believe everybody are going to what they're going to respond to you. We are all here to learn together. We do not want to leave anybody behind. Let us all come out of this internship and we can say, yes, we've learned something, we've gained something, and we've built something.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Emmanuel, the task we still have class tomorrow, and as you people know, it's after tomorrow's class that task normally drops. So I'm even hoping that maybe tomorrow, I don't even know the topic for tomorrow yet, but I'm hoping if the topic is something that we discuss and then we're not going to spend so much time on it, so that we'll be able to cover up what we missed in the last class. So I don't know, I will check. I don't know what the next topic is supposed to be, sir. But I will check tomorrow. So
Please, make it to be fast so that we not spill it over, please.
yeah. I'm going to check. I'm going to check and see what we have. Okay. Sorry. Let me ask. Haruki, no, I don't want Haruki. Do I have anyone here that is good with VAPT? Very good, though. Not just somebody that will say they want to learn. Do I have anyone that is very good with it?
Yeah, I want to learn.
Like I said,
sorry, I didn't hear that. So
I can do
like I need
port scanning, port scanning, process scripting, SQL injection, and the rest, and so.
You can do all those without being supervised.
I can do port scanning without being supervised. I can do SQL injection without supervised. I can carry out port site SSX.
Remember, okay, don't worry. I do not. Like I'm APT. Like I said,
Haruki is my boss now. Haruki is my boss.
Haruki
is my boss now.
The reason I'm not inviting you is that you are pro. I already know that. I don't want somebody pro will chop my money, and I do not want pro. I just want somebody that will support me with the project I'm currently working on. You are pro. Please don't come and chop my money. How much do I have?
No, I can assist you now. There's nothing there.
Don't worry, I will send you a DM. Maybe next week when I'm going back.
You guys just carry me along. At least I'll be able to do the port scanning. I can able to do the port scanning and the SQL injections. I can send you my project on that. What is it called? The VAPT. I have a project on it.
No problem. I've noted John and Victor. Don't worry. When I go back to sites, I might call on you guys. Hopefully. Okay. All right. Thank you guys.
What did you ask?
We involve you.
I asked
how many of you are APT?
How can you?
No, not APT. Penetration testing.
It don't reach money before it just come out. Anyway, everywhere good.
Even person will not be the VAPT self, man won't come out.
Please, can we learn on the job? Please, can we learn on the job?
Sorry.
Instructor, my report is ready. I can send you report. I already have a project on it.
This particular project is not something that you can just learn on the job because it's kind of a standard project. So this is not the one for learning on the job. Sorry. Because anyone that is going to learn on the job now, that means anything we are doing, anything I'm doing, I have to start explaining. And I might not have that time, at least for this project. Maybe when we have another one, but for this particular one, we might not be able to take somebody learning on the job. Apologies for that.
Exploits.
In case you are doing it, I can still join you in the change vulnerability assessment now, like sorry, penetration testing.
Yeah, it's not just only vulnerability assessment, we are penetrating as well. So, Haruki, don't worry, I will.
Okay. I can still join you.
No problem. No problem.